Hello and welcome to Surplus School. Today we're going to talk about, do you have these 7 signs of emotional intelligence? If you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button for more life-amazing videos. Now let's get into it. Number 1. Leadership. Have you ever met someone that inspired you to chase a dream or do good to others? Have you participated in a volunteer program to help those in need and you and your team were led by someone you look up to? Transformational leaders are some of the most powerful role models in our society, according to a 2000 study in the Leadership and Organization Development Journal. Being this kind of leader is a sign of emotional intelligence. It is because they are able to tap into people's sense of self. They inspire them to be their best versions and to also do good to others. They understand their insecurities and the weaknesses of their listeners, and they inspire them to improve. People who follow these leaders respect them a lot because they are able to connect to each other. Transformational leaders stand at the forefront of modern industry according to Harvard Business Review. If you're able to bring out people's positive attitude and inspire them to do good, then that is a sign that you are an emotionally intelligent person. Number 2. Self-improvement. A lot of people think that the best way to strengthen their emotional intelligence is if they look inside them and focus on their failures. This strategy has been passed on, and even to this moment, a lot of people do this, thinking it will help them do better. First, they would look for the flaws, faults within themselves. Then they would try to improve based on the things they have discovered. But the downside to this technique is when people see their flaws, it affects their confidence before it can even help them do better. Fortunately, a report in the Harvard Business Review revealed something that works better, and that is self-exploration. Experts recommend that instead of focusing on your weaknesses, you should challenge your fears and explore your hopes. If you do this, you will discover things about yourself and you will be able to sympathize with yourself even more. Number 3. Knowing your emotions well. As a child, have you experienced being lost in the mall or at the park? Were you scared that you were surrounded by strangers and not one familiar face in sight? Or were you angry because you felt like you were left behind? If the same thing happened to you as an adult and you were able to say exactly what you felt and why you felt that way, that is a sign that you are an emotionally intelligent person. You have a vast vocabulary that you use to describe how you are feeling. Most people would just say they were not happy about it. If something good happens to them, they would say that they were happy about it. So their vocabulary for their emotions is just limited. They usually say they were happy, not happy, good, or bad. It would be easier to understand what exactly they are feeling if they have more words to describe their emotions. If you, on the other hand, is able to recognize others' feelings, then you are able to know what to do with them. An example is if you unintentionally hurt someone's feelings, even if they can't tell exactly how they are feeling, you can just use your own knowledge of emotions and figure out what they are feeling, then do something to make them feel better. Number 4. Thinking first. Most people just say what's on their minds, especially when they find themselves in a confrontation or when they are facing difficult questions. Most of the time, situations handled this way don't end up well. Not only do you have to face broken relationships afterward, but also a huge embarrassment. But if you think of other people's feelings first and try to put yourself in their shoes, it would be easier for you to understand how your words might affect them. Imagine a significant other asking you a question and you are torn between telling her the truth or telling her what you think can make her feel better. You don't have to lie. You can look at the situation first and try to explain to her why you think the way you do and why that was your answer to her question. If you do it this way, it's more likely that even if you gave her the answer she was not expecting, she would not get hurt that much. Being able to control yourself and your words because you consider how others might feel about it is a sign that you are an emotionally intelligent person. Thinking first before you talk will help you handle any kind of situation. Number 5. Explaining yourself. Being constructive when you say opinion, especially your dislike for something, is a sign of emotional intelligence. People who just say what they do not like in a person or something sometimes just sound like a hater. It is because their words seem like they are attacking the other person personally. You should think of the next words to say, Try to make the negative things positive. Instead of reminding them how disappointed you are at their work, tell them how they can improve. Remind them that you believe in them and you know they can do better than what they are doing. This way, you sound reasonable and people will appreciate that you want what's best for them. There's nothing wrong with explaining your opinions. This will make a big difference in all of your relationships, may it be at home or at work. Number 6. Saying no. Do you hate seeing people disappointed in you? Do you say yes every time someone asks a favor? When was the last time you actually considered what you wanted and declined? Not saying yes to everything, especially to the things you know you don't want to do, is a sign of emotional intelligence. It's good to be considerate of others' feelings, but please do not forget your own emotions. Remember that it is much better to say no now than to actually say yes then not be able to keep your word. People will understand if you say no. It is more likely that they will keep going back to you if you keep saying yes because they know you will always put them first before your own. You don't always have to say yes. Having the ability to decline even under so much pressure is not just a sign of emotional intelligence, but maturity as well. Number 7. Reading people. Can you immediately figure out if the person who is trying to be friends with you is genuine or not? Can you see through people's true intentions? If your answer is yes, then that means you are an emotionally intelligent person. Words can be deceiving as well as looks, so if you're able to read even small movements, change in tone, or facial expressions, then that will save you from a lot of trouble. A lot of people can be fooled by people who have bad intentions as long as they act nice. You, on the other hand, can easily read this and is able to save yourself. This is very helpful, especially if you are new at work or if you are put in a new group and you have to figure out if you can create a harmonious relationship with the rest. You can also use this to know if you have said something you shouldn't have said. That will give you the signal that it is time to stop talking and maybe even apologize to the other person. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from it. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching.